because I'm going to pause the uploads, but... Hello, Twitter world. Oh, there it is. Pause upload. All right, let's get into it. Hello, and welcome in to another edition of Why So Sidious, a Nerd podcast. I am your host, David Cochran, and here with me tonight are my co-hosts, Jeremy Dar and Caleb Culver. And tonight we're bringing you another edition of Weekend Geek, where we bring you the latest news of the nerd world in the last week or so, roughly, because we're not perfect. We had a couple of big things pop off since our last Weekend Geek, and one of those things was something called CinemaCon. So this is something I wasn't aware of it even happening until it was happening, and all of a sudden these news reports started pouring out like crazy, and I was like, oh, there's a convention of some sort going on here. But we got some juicy news that came out of it. So real quick, we'll talk about the stuff that doesn't necessarily pertain to us, just some stuff that dropped. We got Transformers is coming out with a movie called Transformers 1, and it also announced that they will, in fact, be doing that crossover with G.I. Joe. So I don't know how they're going to roll it out, but the G.I. Joe universe will now be in the Transformers universe, and they're starting that, and they announced that as fact. So, yeah, I don't know what that means. But
weird.
Sounds wild.
Sounds fun. Sounds like a good old time.
Yeah, I mean, it could be fun. Coming from
the
guys
next
yeah.
Freddy vs. Jason.
I was going to say, yeah, I mean, I just, watched Godzilla Kong, so who am I to judge?
Yes,
but
dude.
yeah, so we got that announcement. Something called Mickey 17. It's like some type of space exploration movie with Robert Pattinson. It was getting a lot of hype behind it, so that was interesting. New scary movie is coming out. JD and I just talked about Happy Gilmore's reboot, and so we got another comedy that will be rebooted here. So real quick, did you guys watch any of the original scary movies at all?
Oh, yeah. So many times.
Okay. All right. What was your favorite? What's your favorite one?
I think it's 2. I think 2 is slightly better than the first one. I can't remember. Wait, is that the House on Haunted Hill? That's the first one, right? Or is that that's that one?
Scream is like the first one, right?
They all get invited.
Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer and all that was the first one. And then the second one is, where she's, having sex with the ghost and everything else that's happening in the haunted house.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like the second one the best. And the Charlie Sheen one is also solid with, Signs.
The third one, yes.
Is that the third one?
Yeah, that's my choice, I think. And it's been so long, but I think that is Charlie Sheen. I remember a couple of them. Remember his hat keeps growing, the sheriff's hat keeps growing bigger and bigger, and you're just like, what the hell? There was so many funny things. I think I could see the future. I must have ESPN or something.
Me and my wife say that all the time.
It'd be interesting, because I haven't watched them for probably 15 years or so. It'd be interesting to go back and watch them again and see if they held up as far as comedy goes. But I know growing up, they were freaking hilarious. I think number 1 was my favorite. 2 is great, though, too. 3 was great. And then 4, weirdly, where it's the Saw one and Shaq's in it, and he's got to make a free throw to get out of the chains and stuff. After 4, though, they got... I think I watched 5, and it was awful. And then I don't even know how many they did after that point. But
I think
they're
6.
rebooting it. 6? Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't go for more. But, so they got that. And then we got a Michael Jackson biopic coming out. Almost done. Will apparently be 3 hours minimum, and it's going to be featuring about 30 songs. And apparently his nephew Jafar is playing him, which is cool that he took time off from being the assistant to the Sultan.
I was going to say,
come take on his acting career. I think that's pretty cool.
Jamona.
God, there's something else. There's another biopic with a big actor. Oh, Leonardo is rumored to be playing Frank Sinatra in something coming out. They're maybe possibly working on. So a lot of biopics. Bob Marley just dropped. But yeah, that's almost the end of the stuff that doesn't pertain to anything we covered. But The Last Ronin was announced. A live-action, rated-R, live Ronin movie will be being made. And if you are unfamiliar with that, this is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle story. And it follows around the last surviving turtle of the gang going on a path of revenge after his brothers have been murdered.
Oh my god!
So it's a graphic novel or a comic run. I started it. I didn't finish it. Off the bat, who the last surviving turtle is, I'm aware of it now. I'll leave it out.
It's Clint Barton.
It is. It's Clint Barton. The plot twist. It's a Marvel crossover. The Ronin's back. Yeah, but this could be sick, honestly. I always thought it was a cool concept. It definitely got away from the child-aimed Teenage Mutant Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff, but I grew up on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I love the animated show.
Twister.
I love the puppet, the live action practical suit movies and stuff. I just always got a blast, and the arcade games. But are either of you guys Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans at all?
No, I don't think I've ever seen a single show.
I know I watched it as a kid, and I have seen a couple of the live action movies, but I wouldn't call myself a fan. But I am down for this. This looks sick.
It does, yeah. Especially since we know it's rated R, so they're fully committing.
So we'll see if it's full CGI or semi-practical or however they go on to create this turtle. I would imagine they do the Marvel style, half practical, half CGI, but that could be sick. So back to stuff that pertains coming out of this. So Captain America: Brave New World. Apparently they got footage of him being attacked in the White House, Captain America. And we also get our first look at Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross. And now, we did see some images. The public saw a couple photos come out of there, and he is missing his mustache, which the first thing I noticed was he doesn't have a mustache. So I screenshot, zoomed in, said, what the hell's the deal with this? And then apparently something came out where they have a line that addresses the change, kind of like in Iron Man 2. When Rhodey comes up and he goes, look, it's me, get over it, move past it, or whatever. If it's me, I'm here, get over it. And Bruce Banner has the line in She-Hulk where he goes, that fight was so long ago, I was a totally different person. So apparently this line is Captain America sees him and he goes, I like the new look. And the guy goes, the president said either shave the mustache or lose the election. It's like, what the hell?
Oh,
but we'll see if that's the actual line they go with. But yeah, we got Thunderbolt Ross with no mustache. So
I'm just really surprised they were so tied to that storyline that they needed to recast him, because it's not like what you're saying with Rhodey where it wasn't Don Cheadle for the first movie, but what's the guy who played Thunderbolt Ross's name who passed away?
William Hurt.
He played Thunderbolt Ross in how many movies? 5, 6? Like
no,
all
I think
the Avengers movies, even a couple more.
2,
Iron
dude.
Man.
I think he was only in Civil War and Incredible Hulk.
Incredible Hulk, Civil War, Infinity War, Black Widow.
For a second. Oh, he was in Black Widow too.
I think.
Yeah, I was in Black Widow.
Maybe he didn't
fair enough.
pop up in Endgame, but he wasn't.
That would be 5.
And also Harrison Ford, he's in his 80s. He doesn't seem like he's even like, I don't know how he even wants to act anymore. Like, why is he doing all these movies at so late an age? So I'm curious how it's going to play out with him.
That's why it's contradicting, right? Because if they have plans for him in the long run, but he's so old, did he sign a long contract, or are their plans just a super important year or two so Harrison Ford could stick around for him? Because you know what I mean. If they had, they're obviously keeping him because they got plans for Red Hulk, right? Or him as Thunderbolt, the leader of the Thunderbolts. But yeah, they got plans. But he's so old.
Maybe he turns into a voice actor.
Yeah,
Just
true.
goes
Red Hulk.
full Red Hulk. Yeah.
True. That'd be awesome. Because Spider-Man's supposed to go full Spider-Man, right? And I think that's such an interesting concept that we haven't dove into. And what if Red Hulk's like that?
Yeah. I don't hate that, and it almost seems like JD, what you're saying makes sense about it. They have to have plans for him, but maybe it's a deal where they just, this role right here was very important for him to come in as president. They wanted to write Thunderbolt Ross's character out to give him respect, send him out in the right way, and maybe there was just a really big story they're going to tell in this movie where they needed to have a big presence for their president, and then maybe he gets assassinated, that shakes things up or something like that. But Harrison Ford doesn't strike me as the guy to sign a big contract with Marvel at 80, so we'll see.
I wonder, it could be for their World War Hulk plan. They just need him for this, World War Hulk, and then he's done. He dies.
Right. No, I wouldn't be surprised if they just needed a bridge there, and they, at the same time, they can give the character a nice little goodbye. So,
and because I wonder if the plans were set in stone at Civil War, because it was so long, and then they brought him back for that specific movie, and this is going to carry a lot of those tones and vibes and concepts from more of that Civil War world. Civil War world. Well, that, and they didn't need him in Black Widow at all, but they de-aged him and put him in there for some reason for 2 scenes, but they tied it in with Valentine. I forgot her name already. Long name, Elaine from Seinfeld.
it's been too long since we talked about the MCU. I forgot what her name is, but they had her tied in with Thunderbolt Ross, and she's going to be in the Thunderbolts coming up and probably pop up in Captain America. She was in Captain America and the Winter Soldier, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, whatever it was called.
And Wakanda Forever, too.
Did she pop up at the end of that, too?
Everett Ross.
And the end credit scene of Black Widow?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the lady.
Yeah. She was in Wakanda Forever. She was in Black Widow. Because she was the one who talked to damn, I'm forgetting everybody's names. We have not been doing MCU stuff.
Everett Ross.
No, Natasha's sister.
Oh, yeah.
Yelena.
Yeah, she was kind of recruiting Yelena there at Natasha's tombstone. So, yeah, they might have some stuff to just tie up with Ross and Valentina. We gotta get the hell out of this topic. All right, Deadpool. They showed.
Wait. I'm sorry.
Yeah. What do you got?
Anthony Mackie had a quote that I liked. He was talking about. It's funny though. Tom Holland's past comments about him not having his own movie.
Right.
He said, "I'm going to make sure that Marvel makes him come to the premiere, and then I'm going to sit him next to me, and I'm going to watch him watch the movie." That's so funny. So he's finally getting his revenge on Tom Holland, which I love.
Yeah, for listeners out there, if you don't have context, Tom Holland and Anthony Mackie were on a panel talking about Spider-Man, and Falcon was like, "Oh, blah blah blah, Spider-Man, whatever, this kid ain't all that." And Tom Holland was like, "Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I thought they seemed to like my movie. I loved you and your wait, like you don't have your own movie kind of deal." So now he's talking trash back after. That's funny. You saying something, JD?
No, I was trying to think of what I was going to say, but I forgot. It's all good. Oh, no, I remember.
Yep, there you go.
But it's just super short, and I don't even have a good reference. I don't know who said it, but someone did say they did try to reach the Winter Soldier vibe, and of course, take it with a grain of salt. Go ahead and tell us you're going to make it like one of your best movies ever, but this is the movie where it would be appropriate, or it would fit.
It would, and that would get my blood boiling. Well, not boiling. I feel like that's when you're angry. That'd get my blood pumping if they didn't say the exact same thing right before Secret Invasion, which it did have darker tones to it, but it obviously didn't match up to Winter Soldier.
Yeah, and it did have really good hand-to-hand choreography in Secret Invasion. I'll give it that.
Yeah, no, there were some similarities. It just wasn't on the quality side, but
right, not even close.
It did get closer to that. So Deadpool, they dropped 9 minutes, 9-minute clip of Deadpool. So I'm not gonna say all of it because me myself I jumped out halfway through or so, but. And if you guys want, The Real Soups on Instagram, he got invited to this thing, and he gave a little breakdown video about kind of what they saw without any major spoilers. But basically, Deadpool is showing a family a car as a salesman. Peter, the one he saved by going back in time, is his coworker at the car sales at the dealership, which is hilarious. And he's having a midlife crisis after quitting the superhero business. We see it in the trailer. He gets a surprise birthday party with all of his friends, and the TVA takes him. But we get clips of him talking to Blind. We're all confused about that. It's Dopender. And I guess there's some pretty funny classic Deadpool clips. But I already have a problem. So I kind of, like I said, I dropped out after he started talking about him getting taken to the TVA. But we find out that I got emotionally invested in that aspect of the Deadpool 2 plot. Like, I thought it was hella sad when she died, and he's trying to join her in the afterlife, and she says, "It's not your time yet." Like, I thought that was emotional and, like, added a strength to the plot, and then he goes back in time and saves it, and they're together, and she's pregnant, and now we're coming back to them, and they're not even together anymore. So I think that's pretty lame, but that's...
Wasn't that the whole point of the movie?
To get back together with her? Yeah, and now they're just broken up, and he's a car salesman. Like, I mean, classic Deadpool, I guess. Like, that's a totally Deadpool thing to do with your story, but...
I guess.
It seems kind of lame, in my opinion, but...
It's like Jane and Thor.
Oh, God.
Yeah, except this one's one of the most watchable romances, which is rare.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually watchable. And
I enjoyed
good.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a bummer. But, yeah, we've seen some still shoots of Hugh Jackman in his Wolverine outfit. A lot of stuff's coming out. Or with his mask, finally. There was something on a promo cup or something with his mask on. Looks pretty cool. We're getting close. We're only a few months out, man. So... can't freaking wait for that. And then last thing, for some reason they shared a 35-minute clip of my number one pick, Inside Out 2, which will probably bomb like the rest of my 2024 box office draft picks. But they showed 35 minutes of the movie there. Just show a third of the movie.
Easy.
Thing. But yeah, so that was CinemaCon. Came out of nowhere, but packed a decent amount of news that dropped with it. So that was pretty cool. let's shoot over to some updates, general updates we got going across the nerd world. Caleb, you got something regarding filming schedules?
We do. I don't know if we talked about this before, but Spider-Man 4 is reportedly set to begin filming between September and October, but there is no director yet. So they're still looking for the director, but they are trying to film later this year. So hopefully they get on that quick. That's from the Ian Snyder, our boy.
Director.
Yeah, that's weird. You already have a date without a director. You don't rush him on the writing. We want good quality writing.
All of it, yeah.
He must not be writing it. There must be a different writer.
Yeah, they have... do they have a writer already, though?
You think it's already written? It probably is. That makes sense, yeah.
God, I don't know.
Script-wise.
It's very compartmentalized at Marvel.
I don't know the process. I don't know if the writing... It probably does come before the director, but you never know.
It changes. It changes a bit, because I've seen people talking about it. Some directors like to get in there before the writer does stuff. Others like to do it the opposite way, so it all depends.
And also, Avengers 5 is set to film in 2025. So that's pretty cool just to see that an Avengers movie is coming up. And the Batman 2 will begin filming in April of 2025. So they really never even got started on it. So it's really... It was supposed to come out in 2025. So now it's pushed to 2020.
Don't like that.
Nah.
And then I think Peacemaker Season 2 started filming.
It did.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Saw James Gunn post a picture of the
awesome.
helmet. Hell yeah. Looking forward to that.
And lastly, I saw this on the Twitter X's. I don't think this isn't confirmed. This is kind of like a rumored slate of movies that could be coming out after Deadpool. So, of course, we know about Brave New World, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, Blade. But then they're saying Spider-Man 4, Armor Wars, Shang-Chi 2, then Avengers 5. And then we would get the X-Men, Doctor Strange 3, Thor 5, and then Secret Wars.
You lost me. We were on a
I
roll
know,
there
right?
until
I don't know about that
5.
Thor 5, but that's I keep hearing multiple things that Thor 5 is like, going forward.
Remember what we heard about Thor 5? Chris Hemsworth himself and I think people at Marvel were committed to going away from the goofiness and exploring a darker, like they specifically mentioned, like a more dark kind of Thor story. And that I'm excited for, because think about how, we don't like the first Thor. No one likes the second Thor except us. Me and Dave anyway. But I think they're going to put a lot of care into this, seeing how it was revamped with Taika Waititi's Ragnarok. Now they want to go darker, but I would be really excited to hear about Thor 5. But I think that whole lineup sounds like, after all we've heard of the past couple of years, it's such a quick left turn from everything we thought was coming out, which we knew was coming because we got these different the power changes. But that sounds like a way more exciting lineup than what we've had for a while.
It does.
Because you got Daredevil coming out too.
Yes. Punisher, Daredevil.
Yeah.
The future's bright for them. Well, it could be bright. I'm not going to say it is bright, but there is a lot of potential in their upcoming lineup here, so we'll see. Yeah. I did see Chris Hemsworth did say, the only reason I would come back to it is if they dug deeper or took a different turn into Thor's background and made it worth telling the story. So I just hope they listen to him. Yeah, that's, again, even that, if it's done the right way, they could make it cool, but God, not off the tone that we just saw that dude. I don't want anything to do with that Hercules, but
seriously.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all you got for filming schedules?
That'll be it.
All right. Well, take this off of your schedule, folks. Something we've been talking about a lot, but weren't really sure what they were going to do. Turns out they didn't know either. Jon Snow's spin-off show has now been officially shelved. And Kit Harington said the primary reason was we just couldn't agree on a story worth telling.
You're saying you didn't have a story when you announced it in the first place? You just went for it? We're going to do it.
That's a good point, too.
We're going to do Jon Snow.
Or they kept thinking of ideas and going, no, that's Game of Thrones season 9. No, that's Game of Thrones season 9. We can't do anything here.
Or I don't think we can start up a whole new series of this guy living a peaceful life beyond the wall. So yeah, maybe we don't do this.
Fireside chat with Jon Snow.
Yeah. I'm down, but I don't think you're gonna make money from it. I'll watch, but yeah. Okay, so let's get into Star Wars here. Lub, certain magazine, kind of dropped some stuff for us.
Yeah, Empire Magazine always does a Star Wars article when something's coming out. Hence the name. I guess they just have like a commitment together forever. But just a couple quotes from Leslie Headland. So she says, I was very interested in how did the Jedi get to where they are in The Phantom Menace. You're definitely getting a sense of that with the Jedi. The writing may be on the wall. The quote-unquote war of this Star Wars is a much smaller, more personal one. The war between characters, the war between people. So I like that. It's a smaller, less galactic story, but she's also going to show or tease how the Jedi become who they are in the prequels, which is, what we want to see in this story.
Shoot, you do that right, that could be pretty sick.
Yeah.
Big if, but I don't hate the premise. I like that goalpost, target, bullseye, whatever you want to call it.
It's what we've been asking for, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you guys? All right. So, what do you think about this? If they go away from Legends and do Palpatine, but he's Tenebrous' apprentice, what do you think? I don't think that's likely, but would you like that to happen?
Well, because he told Anakin about Darth Plagueis.
True. Good point. All right, you got me there.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't even if that was out, just because it'd mean the Plagueis book is officially not canon, and we're losing out on that, and I don't want to lose Plagueis, so. And I don't know if I trust Disney to rewrite Palpatine's backstory either. I think
again,
pretty well.
It would seem like you're just trying to do him right.
They just go to Palpatine again.
Yeah.
Somehow Palpatine exists right now.
Yeah, and he's the main character of the Acolyte. So one more. It's one story with several reveals and new clues and new information each episode. It's not just a mystery that you have to find out. It's not unlike Russian Doll. It's almost like a spiral. It digs deeper and deeper and deeper. So I do kind of like the mystery aspect of what's going on. That seems like a cool new genre of Star Wars, right?
Is Russian Doll the series that she worked on?
Yeah, Netflix, right?
Oh, I didn't know she was a writer on that. Okay.
No, she's like the main person, I think, right?
It lists
like
her
her
as
show.
one of the writers here, but I don't know. I'm briefly looking at a Wikipedia thing, but
If they were really going above and beyond, James Mangold would be communicating with their writers and directors if they're gonna start hinting to stuff we know about the Force, and then Mangold can build on that with his origin of the Force movie. But
well, they got
Learn
like
from your
10,000
mistakes.
years in between.
I know, but
but
the
can
concepts
cool stuff.
stay the same.
Of course.
Learn from your mistakes and put all of your directors and showrunners and writers from different projects in a room and let them hang out and talk for a bit, okay? Let's get some syncing going on between our creators here at Star Wars.
Give them some
It worked for
mushrooms.
Marvel for a while.
Only ones from the grocery store for the vitamin D, of course.
Of course. I mean,
Baby Bella.
shiitake.
That way they can be healthy and talk better.
Psilocybin.
How'd that get out there?
How'd that get in there?
No, he said he was silly climbing.
Yeah. It would be silly climbing on over each other.
Big Spider-Man guy.
Was there anything else out of that article?
That was all I got. It just seemed like a nice little, puff piece for the show.
Yeah. Also, pretty badass, I will say. Did you guys see the thing on the Empire State Building? They did this whole promo. I think it was tied in with the magazine's release, but they had Anakin marching, a whole light show on the face of the Empire State Building, and then it switched to Darth Maul's face across the Empire State Building. They were decorating the entire Empire State Building with different Star Wars characters and Star Wars motifs. It was pretty sick.
Disney's got some
pretty
pull.
cool crowd. Yeah, good point. Yeah, no kidding.
Holy cow. Why don't they put Why So Sidious on the Empire State?
Dude, I'll talk to some people. I'll see. Me and Leslie Highland are tight, or Headland, whatever her name is. We're cool. Staying in Star Wars, into a already proven part of the Star Wars world, Andor writer Tony Gilroy steps in to give us an update on Season 2. And fellas, I got to say, it's a pretty good update. Speaking to WGA East, Gilroy called the show the most important work of his career so far. Quote, I've been on Andor for 5 years now. We're finishing the second half. I've had a lot of fun over the years, but I don't know... Whoops, real great, David. That wasn't in the quote. I've had a lot of fun over the years, but I don't know whether I've ever done anything as important as these 24 hours of storytelling we are doing now. I don't know if it's just because it's a thing I'm on, but I don't think so. I've never had a chance to work this big before. So whatever the hell that means, Tony Gilroy says he's got some major things in the work right now coming in Andor Season 2. And coming off of Season 1 and what he was able to put together, and he's saying this, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but that does nothing but get me hyped for this season.
Right. So the end of Andor is the beginning of Rogue One, right? They're not going to go up to the end of Rogue One? Right?
Yeah.
There's no way.
That wouldn't make sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It should lead right into wherever Cassian and K2 are when they go
he was
find Jyn.
Yeah, he was on that planet, like, and he caught that guy, or he started interrogating that guy, and then he killed him. So whatever he was doing there.
Yeah, so that would be interesting.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how this show can end. That is like the spectacle that we're gonna get.
Right. Yeah.
I
trust him.
I'm actually worried about the ending and the spectacle, because you're not going to top Rogue One the way they ended that, leading to the next chapter.
Right.
Unless they bring Vader back again.
Hallway scene.
But you do know this is very well planned ahead, because we learned about it before Season 1 even came out, that they even had their timeline structure. Remember, it was like really strange, like each season jumped a year or something like that.
Yeah, you're right.
Memory.
There's a
They
lot
got,
of stuff
they planned ahead with that one at least.
Yep, and that always pays off. Well, most of the time. But yeah, so some encouraging news coming out of Star Wars right before we, get into our May 4th season and then get into the Acolyte. Star Wars is on the rise again. It's coming back. Let's go. Let's stay in Star Wars. We'll jump into our trailer segment, our little trailers category over here. We've had a couple that have dropped. We wanted to talk about this one last time. We know the trailer came out a couple weeks ago, but we wanted the full squad here to talk about it. Tales of the Empire. Came out of nowhere, coming out May 4th this year. I didn't know about it. I don't think you guys were aware of it either. I had never heard of this being in the works. And all of a sudden, a trailer dropped last week. And, dude, it looks dope. Incredibly unexpected. I'm down to see Morgan's background, how she recruited Balin and Shin. I'm hoping that's in there. Like maybe in the last episode, it kind of leads into that. And just getting a more fleshed out connection to the Night Sisters genocide, where Grievous shows up and tears them all up. Like we've seen that in some of the comics and glimpses and some of the novels, but this is sick. And then we get a background of Barriss Offee as well, as she joins the Inquisitors. We got a lineup shot of Fourth Sister from the Kenobi series, Barriss, Merrick from Ahsoka standing right next to Barriss. And then the Inquisitor we see Ahsoka kill in Tales of the Jedi. So we're getting a lot of stuff that's connecting into other stuff. Yeah, dude. And of course Vader walks by and they're talking about, here's your master. We see the Grand Inquisitor again. This looks sick. I mean, JD, what were your thoughts on this?
I didn't watch it. Sorry. I didn't know.
Oh.
No, I still like a lot of that. But yeah, I got to check it out.
All right. Well, tell me when you take the knife out of my chest, and then we'll jump right into that. And all right, Caleb, what'd you think of that trailer?
Yeah, I was blown away. Definitely classic Star Wars, just releasing something 3 weeks before it comes out, not telling anyone about it. Just great publicity there. But it looks like both of the stories tie in together at the end. Did you notice that in the trailer? It looked like Barriss's and Morgan's. I don't know, maybe I need to watch it again, but it looked like maybe they tie in, which would be cool because in Tales of the Jedi we had Dooku and Ahsoka, so obviously that was kind of two separate things, but
right.
This, hoping it does.
Yeah, that would be sick. It's just funny to think about if they were to tell us about this before the trailer came out, and they'd be like, we're doing Tales of the Empire. I'd be like, let's go! And then they say, and we're doing Barriss Offee and Morgan. Morgan Elsbeth. Been like, oh. All right, that's, what the hell? Those are the last two people I would have guessed you'd put as Tales of the Empire. But the trailer got me hyped for it, so I didn't even find myself being bummed. But it is an odd choice. Feels pretty random, but obviously it connects into what they're doing in current Disney Star Wars. We had another trailer that dropped this week. I'm going to go straight to you, JD, because I know you watched this one. We got Joker 2, Folie à Deux with Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga, the upcoming Todd Phillips movie. So, JD, what did you think of this trailer?
So I liked it a lot because I mean, the musical thing had me really worried, but this trailer put that at ease because I see the same tone, feels like the same world. And Lady Gaga looked really good as Harley Quinn for me. She looks like she's going to fit the role well, and I didn't expect to like her. So, I I thought it was really good. It got me excited for it, and I was scared about the musical thing, and I still am. This didn't completely alleviate all that, because that doesn't sound cool at all. I want zero musical stuff, but we'll see how that plays out. But the trailer was good for me.
Hey, you got to give Gog some credit, man. A Star
I haven't
is
actually
Born,
seen her
American
in
Horror
anything
Story.
else.
Yeah, I've seen her. In
I heard
she was
Gucci
good in
sucked.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
That's all I got.
But yeah, the musical aspect definitely has me scared too. Because when I saw Wonka in theaters, there was just like, yeah, because we had a gift card. But yeah, too many songs. Like it was Timothy Chalamet was really good. The story was good, but it was just like every 15 minutes they're breaking back into song. And it's like, oh my god. So, but with this trailer, it does seem like I still think the musical notes and the dance numbers will be inside of his head. Like this is his like dream world that's going on. And yeah, Lady Gaga does look like a really good Harley Quinn for this universe because it is super gritty and old school and
more real.
Yeah, she looks perfect. Yeah, more real.
So that's fair. Which is good. I'm on the total opposite side of you guys. I didn't see Lady Gaga as Harley at all during this. It felt like, I don't know. It wasn't connecting in my brain. Like I kept thinking, all right, this is Harley Quinn, and it just never really made the connection in my mind. But I'm not. Everything I've heard about Lady Gaga in her movies, I hear she's been great. So I'm not concerned about a performance there. Obviously not concerned about Joaquin Phoenix, and I know the musical is going to happen. But even the weird little dance scenes in the first one, down the stairs, the whole
that was weird.
The pedophile dude who made that song. But that I didn't even mind that. I kind of enjoyed that. I had fun with that scene where he's creepily dancing in the bathrooms, even though it's creepy. It was intense, and I was immersed in it.
Good.
So I trust Todd Phillips will do something that's not going to rival Wonka, which, by the way, I feel like you didn't tell us you saw that on purpose. Whatever. But
I think I have to have said something.
But I'm not even so much concerned with that, even though obviously I don't like it. I wasn't excited for this movie in the first place, and the trailer just didn't do anything to change that. So it's me coming into it already not really looking forward to it. And so the trailer in itself, there wasn't anything in it that like changed my mind because I already wasn't really in that camp with it. So we'll see. I'm still going to see it. I know I'm still going to see it. I'll still watch the next trailer, and I'll be paying attention closely, and I don't want it to fail. I just personally, I'm not very excited about it.
This will be repetitive for you guys, but for the episode, my thing with this is they were like set on not doing a sequel. Both of them, Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix. So I feel like the only reason they are is because they put a really good script together, because they did so good on that first one, and I liked that they weren't going to do a sequel because it was like, usually sequels don't work, especially something like this. It was pretty special. But if those two were in on this, and they accepted this script, it's probably got to be good at least.
Yeah,
I feel
that's a good point.
I could see this being less depressing, much less depressing than the first Joker. So if they capture a lot of the same magic and then take out the depression, this could be a good movie, depending on what all this dancing or music shit is about.
And it is kind of funny how the first movie was about like, the people who are down need to, be pushed back up, and a lot of like the incels, quote unquote, on the internet loved the first Joker movie. And now they're going in the complete opposite direction with Lady Gaga and a musical. So I'm just wondering how like that's all gonna go with
funny
fans of the first movie.
I was just about to say, is it weird that I liked the depressing parts of the movie, but now I'm worried that Love just put a label of incel over me while I say that?
No, not incel. No, like
I know.
Like
no,
him
I know what
shooting
you're trying
Robert
to
De
say.
Niro at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I got that. Yeah, you both make good points, and that's why I wouldn't be surprised if this was like, that was a really quality movie. I don't have a lot of excitement for it, but we'll see. We'll be keeping you posted. I'm sure we'll cover it. I'm probably going to rewatch the first one pretty soon here. But yeah, we'll see. Okay, let's get into our video game corner before we head out of here. Typically, we'll be ending Weekend Geeks with box office draft update, but there hasn't really been much of an update. Civil War did drop, actually. You know what?
Oh,
Love, that's your first movie, right?
I don't think it did a lot first weekend. I should have taken Quiet Place.
It's
Wait, hold on. Wait. Before you say it,
okay.
it was the most ever for A24 in an opening weekend.
Okay, well, it must have not released internationally because international it has $1 million in the box office.
Canada,
And
maybe.
Domestic is 25 mil, so 26 mil opening weekend.
It's not
Again,
horrible.
not great, but that
Last
makes me
pick?
think that international hasn't really gone out yet. So you might be fine. It's not
Slow
like
burn.
it was Kung Fu Panda or Ghostbusters, who hasn't even reached 150 million. But we already told you about my failures last episode, so there's not much of a box office draft update. We'll get you next time. But we will wrap it up with a little thing we like to call our, well, we don't like to call it, we've never called it, but it's our video game corner. Yeah.
I was going to say, if you want to edit it out, it's been 40 minutes. Should we save it for next week since we got all the MCU rankings to do? Or was this just a wig, or were we doing MCU rankings?
Yeah,
We're doing it after this, yeah.
We're
We're doing the rankings after this. We can stop it. That's fine. Do you want to do your Witcher stuff and the Outlaws trailer next?
Yeah.
Is that cool, love? Word.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I agree.
And we're not going to do a box office draft update. Not much has happened. We'll get you next time. Civil War is coming out, and there's another movie dropping in May. I don't remember what it is, but I think it's one of JD's movies. So we'll get you updated next time. But that is all for us here at Week in Geek. Thank you very much for joining us. As always, you can follow us on our socials at Instagram, TikTok, and X at WhySoCitiusPod. Follow us on YouTube. X is about to start charging us to post, so we'll see how long that one survives. But go ahead and give us a follow. We are trying to get as interactive as we can on there. So thank you for joining us. Thank you to my co-host for joining me here tonight, and we'll see you next time on Why So Sidious, a Nerd Podcast.